Reign of Beast Tamer is being insulted by the hero's party and is ultimately fired because they consider him a useless burden who slows down everyone. Astonished to find out what his comrades thought of him, he's heartbroken and reminisces only to notice that he was always treated badly. He had some bad choices of friends. Seeing Reign sad, a group of kids comes by and cheers him up. They explain how he's kind towards them, whereas Oreos, the head of the party, are always rude. That's why they want to be like Reign and earn their bread as an adventurer. Adventurers live as migratory birds and die in freedom, a dream life pattern of every guy. This sounds interesting to Reign, and he decides to join the Adventurers Guild. He's welcomed by the receptionist Natalie, who explains what being an adventurer is all about. Reign is completing the entrance test of killing 10 monsters when he hears a scream. Reaching the source, he finds a girl cornered by a D-ranked killer tiger. Being the gentleman he is, Reign attacks the tiger to attract it toward himself and tells the girl to use the opportunity to escape. The girl, however, gathers all her strength and hits the tiger and collapses along with it. Reign holds her and notices that she's hungry. While feeding her, Reign notices that she belongs to the rarest tribe among the ultimate species, the cat tribe, renowned for their enhanced physical strength. She introduces herself as Kinade, and since they seem to connect well, she offers Reign to tame her. And by successfully doing so, Reign clears the test and is accepted by the guild as an adventurer. He decides to raise funds for an inn, so he starts looking for quests immediately. Reign and Kinade are approached by a man who is surprised to see a cat girl. One of the drawbacks of having a beautiful girl is that every guy tries to take a shot at them. He belittles Reign, which enrages Kinade, and Reign ends up doing a bet with him with Kinade as the price. Reign wins easily, which leaves everyone shocked, including Reign himself. Kinade explains that when you make a contract, the master gets a proportionate strength of the tamed species. Seeing the commotion, Natalie comes by and knocks that person out. Kinade and Reign are collecting herbs when she hears the noise of a merchant being robbed by a gang. Reign jumps in to rescue the old merchant. It was his time to shine. He gracefully subjugates all the bandits. The old man thanks them and advises them to escape before other bandits come for revenge. Instead, Reign decides to take out all the bandits. Upon raiding their base, Reign uses his unparalleled skill to tame numerous bees having paralysis, poison, and uses them to disable the enemy. Meanwhile, members of the hero's party fail miserably at a quest and blame the new beast tamer for it. He tells them no beast tamer can tame more than 2 animals at once, but they refuse to consider Reign more capable than average. Kinade arrives with reinforcements and starts transporting the bandits, but C-rank monsters, king lizards kept as pets in the cave, go on a rampage. Kinade and Reign hold them back as everyone evacuates. Eventually, they come out victorious again. Afterwards, Reign is promoted a rank and gets rewarded by the guild because he played an important role in the subjugation of the gang. Both of them celebrate and book a room in an inn. Reign is hesitant about sleeping in the same room as Kinade, but Kinade insists, saying that she trusts him and that he's not like the others. They're offered a quest involving a brute who forces every person who crosses the bridge to a fight, a battle junkie. Probably nobody was hurt, but this incident continues to affect the transport across the river. Upon reaching the bridge, Reign and Kinade come across a dragonoid named Tanya. She's looking for strong opponents for duels and challenged Reign and Kinade. It's an intense fight between the two ultimate species. Tanya burns Kinade's precious tail, which enrages her. Reign asks Kinade to keep her occupied for 3 minutes and gathers poisonous birds. The birds neutralize Tanya, and she admits defeat. Reign makes her promise not to cause such a scene again. He keeps her identity as the culprit a secret and tells her to stay away from the city, but instead she decides to follow them as it'll serve as better training. Kinade is already jealous of having another girl in the party, but she agrees. Tanya tells Reign to tame her as well, which turns out to be success. On the other hand, the hero's party is having trouble, so they decide to pull Reign back. Now, as a party of 3, they get a quest to exterminate slimes. Tanya and Kinade get along well and fight with good coordination. This puts Reign at ease. They discover that Reign gained magical prowess due to his contract with Tanya. She trains Reign and improves his magical control. Tanya is known by the townsfolk as the girl who dresses like a dragon. All of us have our own kinks. Both Kinade and Tanya have adapted to the town, and the people like them. At dinner, Reign tells them about his peaceful and serene village from where he learned taming. When Reign was 12, the village was destroyed in a monster attack. He was rescued by an adventurer and worked at an inn to survive until Oreos. The hero invited him to join their party. He thought by joining the hero's party, he would be doing something meaningful. But in reality, Oreos only wanted a pawn to work for him. During a quest, Rain tells them to keep their guard up, but Tanya gets too carried away. Rain rushes to save her, but gets injured in the process. This upsets Tanya a lot, as she is embarrassed to face him, but Rain comforts her by saying that he's happy that she reflected on her actions. Rain comes across Oreos and his party, and at first sight, they start to badmouth him. Tanya and Kinnaid come to his rescue, while Oreos explains that they're having difficulty conquering the Lost Woods, and they need Rain's help. At first, he declines, but when they tell them that they require the Shield of Truth hidden in the forest to defeat the Demon King, he agrees. Tanya and Kinnaid stop Oreos and tell him to kneel before Rain and apologize. This makes Oreos furious, and he starts to insult Kinnaid and Tanya. At this, Rain couldn't contain himself and ends up attacking him. Oreos is flabbergasted and says, "How could he hit the hero? I've heard about self-centered people, but this guy takes it to a whole new level." Oreos asks for a fight between the two parties. The battle ensues and Kinnaid fights. Agatha the Knight, she overpowers him from the start and parries a special move and knocks him unconscious with only one hit. Tanya is fighting Leanne and Mina. She bullies them by canceling their magic and then scared them unconscious. They deserve this for making fun of an innocent soul. Rain is facing Oreos and commends his sword skills, though he was now hair near Rain and beat him like a bag. He uses bees to paralyze him and scare the shit out of Oreos by hitting the ground beside him, making him faint. He feels happy to have taken his revenge. Later, the party accepts the hero's request to retrieve the treasure from the monster deep in the forest. Rain and the party enter the forest, only to notice that the map made by the hero's party is no longer usable. Rain uses the ability Assimilate to transfer his consciousness to a bird and search from the sky. He finds a root. Tanya uses her magic to locate the source of illusionary magic and then tells Kinnaid to split the tree, but Rain is against cutting the tree. Just when she's about to hit the tree, a fairy reveals herself and tells them to leave. I can understand how disturbing uninvited guests can be. The monster that Oreos talked about turned out to be a fairy. Rain tries to earn her trust by taking her attack, and upon finding that Rain and his party pose no threat to the forest, she introduces herself as Sora, a druid from the ancient spirit tribe. She refuses to turn off the barrier as it hides the road that leads to the fairy village. She hands them the shield because it was part of the pact between the hero and the fairies. Rain inquires about what is troubling, but Sora is hesitant to answer. Sora is coaxed by Rain, Kinnaid, and Tanya to talk about her twin sister, Runa, and their job to protect and maintain the barriers that lead to the fairy village. All was well between the two until they exited the barrier for personal reasons and encountered a monster affiliated with the Demon King army. Rain then tells that the monster Sora and her sister encountered was called a Shadow Knight. Although weaker than an ultimate species like them, it has tricky characteristics like magic nullification, meaning only physical attacks can harm it. Sora confirms it and continues her story, where the Shadow Knight demanded that she lower the barrier, but in fear she fled and was told by the leader to abandon Runa. Hearing Sora's plea, Rian vows to help rescue Runa from the Shadow Knight, causing Sora to embrace Rain tearfully. They locate the Shadow Knight and ambush him. Tanya secures Runa and flies away to a safe place with her. On the other hand, Rain and Kinnaid keep the knight occupied. He's angered and goes berserk, destroying the trees. Rain distracts him with insects and uses that window to unleash Kinnaid's power. Using the skill boost, Kinnaid hits him with all her strength and creates a hole in him. Tanya inquires Rain about boost because she thought it was a lost skill. They take Runa to her sister, and she thanks all of them for saving her sister. The sisters turn out to have opposite personalities, where Sora was calm and composed and Runa was chaotic. They tell how they were thinking of leaving the forest as they can't live with those who abandoned Runa. Tanya and Kinnaid offer them to tag along, but Runa wants to make a contract with Rain. The magic formula is a bit complicated, but he is successful. Rian meets Oreos and gives him the shield. They're surprised that he was able to pull this off. They offer Rain to join the party once again, but he refuses. Rain explains how the hero limitlessly increases his strength by learning skills throughout his life. Runa points out that he's very much like the hero, as he gains strength limitlessly by making contracts. Rain's magic was enhanced through a contract with Tanya. Therefore, his equipment is no longer practical and he requires new stuff. They go out in town to look for a blacksmith. Sora and Runa are afraid of people, but are surprised by watching Tanya and Kinnaid interact so freely. They find the best shop for weaponry in the town, which is owned by a dwarf named Gantz. As they look for a suitable weapon, due to Rain's superior observation, he notices that something is missing from each weapon. He asks Gantz about this, and he explains that this is a test for his customers, so that the best adventurers get first-class weapons. The weapons on sale are mass-produced, normal weapons, and only those who see through them are given the real deal. Gantz agrees to make a custom weapon for Rain, but he's lacking the materials as his mountain has gone dry. They suspect that someone is stealing from the mine. Rain agrees to take the quest and investigate the mine with a weapon made by Gantz as the reward. On the way to the mine, they stop at a lake to relax. The girls start to play in the lake water, and Rain goes away on lookout duty. He hears Kinnaid scream and runs over to find them in the water, the luckiest coincidence any guy could ask for. They tell him to act normally, as he didn't do it deliberately. Upon reaching the mine, Rain concludes that there's a beast tamer among their enemy by observing the strange movements of a bird. Some goons come out only to get knocked out, but Rain warns them to keep their guard as the thieves are adventurers. They enter the mine and are showered with attacks while they were still in the shaft. Runa and Sora blocked the attacks and captured a few thieves, while Kinnaid and Tanya attacked the remaining and subjugated them. Rain is facing the beast tamer, who calls upon the monster behemoth. Normal beast tamers cannot tame monsters due to their hostility towards humans. But he had found him when he was a baby and took care of it. Therefore, Behemoth had no hostility towards him. He started attacking and the mine started to break, getting them killed alongside yourself as expected of a dumb thief. Rain orders the girls to evacuate with the other thieves. Kinnaid returns and captures the beast tamer, but he refuses to stop Behemoth. Rain overrides his control with his own to calm Behemoth down, but due to constant egging by the tamer, he attacks him and Rain ends up killing him. All the thieves turn out to be Gantz's previous customers, who were unhappy because he sold them normal quality products. Gantz reflects on his actions and finds his fault. Rain cheers him up by telling him he was only possessive for his weapons. To make up for the trouble, Gantz decides to sell his top weapons to normal people as well. On the other hand, Oreos rejects all the candidates as he was unable to find anyone who could match Rain's strength somewhere else. Rain is hanging out with Sora and Reina. They discuss various things, and Sora is disappointed as Rain doesn't appear to have gained any power from their contract. While walking around the town, they come across a noble who tries to kidnap Sora and Reina. He introduces himself as Edgar, the son of the town's lord. Rain steps in and refuses to let him do his way. Keeping up the good guy act must be pretty hard. Edgar orders his knights to take them by force, but they're humiliated in the middle of the market by Rain. Edgar threatens to hurt the townspeople, but Rain uses his new skill, multiple incantations, to defeat them simultaneously. Sora and Reina are happy that Rain gained a useful skill from them. People inform them about Edgar's cruelties and advise them to leave the town, but they refuse to leave all the people in danger and decide to teach them a lesson. After noticing how the knights refuse to register a complaint against Edgar, Rain is assured that the knights have been bribed. On his way back, he is stopped by Stella, vice captain of the knights. She explains how most of the knights, including Captain Gillett, are rotten, and she wants to work with Rain to punish Edgar for his evils. Rain devises a plan and gathers all the dirty knights by spreading a rumor that the proof of their corruption is hidden in a warehouse. When all the knights assemble inside the warehouse to search for it, Rain takes out all of them with his new gauntlet. Stella asks Rain to let her handle the captain, and she skillfully teaches him true chivalry. Edgar is furious upon hearing about Gillett's failure. Oreos arrives and tells him Rain won't be defeated easily and gives Edgar a cursed ring that will kill its target instantly. Kinnaid and Tanya had tagged along with Stella and the righteous knights to go to the Lord's mansion to investigate the guards. They don't let them in and call for reinforcements, and fighting ensues. Rain, along with Sora and Runa, use this distraction to sneak into the basement to evacuate the people who are held by the Lord. They notice another magic signature equal to that of an ultimate species. Looks like another cutie is being added to the harem. Rain tells them to rescue the citizen, and he goes to check on that magical response. He's worried that it's an ace hidden by Edgar, or if it's a hostage. Rain finds a child demigod being held captive in the prison. Edgar made her wear a slave collar by threatening to kill her friends. Ever since then, he's been hitting and torturing Nina whenever he felt bad. This man is seriously some kind of sadistic maniac. Rain tries to dispel the slave collar. He successfully does it. After teleporting the hostages to a safe location, Sora and Runa come to Kinnaid and Tanya's aid. Stella joins them as well, and they proceed to capture Edgar in the hall. They run into Rain and are surprised to see him carrying Nina. They like Nina a lot, and Kinnaid is captivated by her beautiful tail. She probably has a thing for tails. They catch the Lord while fleeing with evidence of his corruption. Edgar jumps in and uses the cursed gilded ring that Oreos gave him. A Grim Reaper appears and kills Rain, but he's unfazed because of his skill that nullifies any instant status effects. Edgar's hatred resurrects a demon sealed in the ring that flies away to destroy the town. Rain identifies the demon as the one who destroyed his village. He refuses to let him carry on with his massacre. They pursue the demon and confront him. As the fight starts, they hit him with their epic combined attack, but the demon walks out of it easily. He says 5 versus 1 is unfair and summons some demon dogs. The dogs keep on spawning and Candide is having trouble dealing with them. They hit the demon with another exceptionally wrong combo, but he is unscathed. Such an ungentlemanly gesture. He could have at least acted a little hurt to commend the girls for their effort. The demon summons flying monsters as well, and flies away to destroy the town regardless of revealing their identity. Sora and Rona propose to teleport the townspeople to a safe location. At first, they're reluctant, but end up trusting them. The adventurers also come to help Rain and hold the monsters back. The heroes' party refuses to take part in protecting the city, so the adventurers take matters into their own hands. Nina feels useless as she's being protected by others. She arrives to help Rain just when he was struggling with instant teleportation. Nina helps him approach the demon, and Rain overwrites his control over the monsters, causing them to attack the demon and tear him to shreds. Even after doing their best, the town did take some damage. It turned out that people already knew that Tanya was a dragonoid. Candide, who helped the people in repairing buildings. Stella was appointed the captain of the Knights. She informed Rain that the culprits had been transported to the capital for judgment. Knights had asked the guild for help in keeping peace in the city during the chaos. The guild appreciates Rain for his services and promotes him to C rank. Nina insists on staying with them and offers Rain to tame her. I hope no one suspects him to be a lolicon. Now, as a harem of mean party of 6, they start looking for a house. Natalie showed them several houses, but they were not up to the requirements. The last one turns out to be perfect and fulfilled their every need. However, Natalie tells them that the house is haunted. At least they were more sensible than all the families in horror movies. Candide is terrified of ghosts, but she steals her resolve. They decide to take a tour first, but upon entering the living room, paranormal activity starts. A female ghost appears in front of them. Runa and Sora try to purify the evil but to no use. They notice that she can't attack them, so the ghost tries to scare Candide, but it backfires. She admits her defeat, and Rain asks for a conversation that surprises her. She introduces herself as Tina Holy and reveals her tragic story of how she was murdered during a maid job in another city. Eventually, Rain offers her the chance to live with them, and with that, a party of 7 people is formed. Later, Rain returns home with Candide and enjoys a feast for dinner. Before digging in, Rain reflects on how fortunate he is to have met all of his party members, as well as a flashback to his parents, and looks forward to whatever comes next. And that's the end of the video. What do you think about the story? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you liked what you saw, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.